Alright, how do you get customers for your repair shop? This is my favorite subject. The reason is because this is what I'm good at. This is my strong point. So let's start with the two ways that you can market your shop. So the first way is you can pay for marketing. Second way is you can do business to business marketing. So the first way, pay for marketing, means you can pay for billboards, signs, Google ads, be on breakdown websites, or you can even pay a marketing agency to do all this for you. But you can expect to spend $3,000 and up for this type of service. Now, for the breakdown websites, whenever you get on the websites, you'll notice there are other shops that have multiple ads on the same breakdown website. And you'll see that each ad is probably $500 to $600, depending on the size, the color, all that jazz. And you'll see that there's shops out there that have 3, 4, 5, 6 ads all stacked on top of each other just so they can be above the other shops that are advertising. And really, it's just for the owner-operators that are coming into town, that are breaking down, looking for a quick shop to fix them up. So what kind of customers will you get with this type of marketing? So owner-operators. You won't get a lot of fleets because fleet managers aren't going to be looking at billboards or Google ads or these breakdown websites. So you're going to get owner-operators, which is not a bad thing. Owner-operators can be a very good market to touch, but you do want to make sure that you focus more on fleets. Your owner-operators should be there to fill in the gaps. Owner-operators sometimes can be a little bit finicky with pricing. They love to haggle, and the reason for that is because a lot of owner-operators have problems budgeting their own money. They are their own business, and a lot of them have trouble with the finances. So when they see that you're doing a repair and they know how much money they have in the bank and how much money they need to get to their next load with fuel and all, they're going to try to haggle you down for every penny. I've had to deal with it time and time again. So you want to make sure you get a good mix of owner-operators, but also you want to focus on fleets. Which brings me to number 2, the business-to-business marketing. So this is where you'll thrive. So you can hire a salesman to do this for you, or you can do the selling yourself. A lot of times when you're first starting out, you don't have the budget to go hire a salesman to do all this for you, to go out and be in front of customers. But I can tell you need to get to that point to where you have a salesman on your team. Because if you're out doing jobs, you're not out marketing yourself. So when you get done on a customer's yard or fixing an owner-operator, then you're waiting on your next job. You don't have anything lined up. That's a problem. That's downtime. That's time that you're not getting paid or billing out money. So you need to make sure you get to the point where you have a salesman out there hitting doors while you're fixing things or your techs are fixing things. So the target customers will give you consistent work, and your target customers when you're business-to-business marketing should be fleets. And I can tell you from the company I used to work for, which made over $6 million a year, without any advertisements or any billboards, they focused on business-to-business marketing, and they were successfully growing. And $6 million a year, they had 13 mobile techs, and I can tell you they did make a lot of money. So, how do you do this? How do you get out there and sell? And that's what we're going to get into next. Okay, let's start with the biggest tool you have, which is yourself. You need to have confidence in yourself. You are the owner, and you want to make this business grow. You need to have confidence in what you are selling. The biggest way to have confidence is to know what you are selling. Are you selling just that you can repair things better than the next guy? No, you're not. You need to sell a solution. If you go to a customer and just tell them you can fix things better than the next guy, you're not explaining to them or showing them how you can be a solution for them. That's what fleets are looking for. That's what customers are looking for. They're looking for a solution to a problem. The problems that fleets have, they need their stuff repaired in a timely fashion. They need their PMs tracked, even if they don't know they need them tracked. They need to make sure that you will be there to fix their things when they break down. They don't want to know that you can just fix things better than the next guy. They want to make sure that you are the person that's going to give them a solution for their problems. And many times, you have to inform them what the solution is, because they're not going to know. How do you deliver that to them? How do you say that to them to where you show that you're confident in what you're selling? And this is something that I had to learn the hard way. But customers love it when you're confident and you know that you can save them money. It's not just the fact that you can do repairs better than the next guy. It's the fact that you can save them on their budgets. That is what they're counting on. Alright guys, so here's the secrets. Here are the secrets to how to sell to a customer. So make sure you have your pen and pad handy, because these are going to be secrets that are going to get you into places and get you customers fast. So be the solution. How do you be the solution? You got to solve problems. What are the biggest issues that fleets are having? Number one thing is fuel. Number two is tires. Number three, unscheduled repairs. Number four, PM repairs. How do you address these solutions? How does the customer see that you can address these solutions? Fleet checks or yard checks on a regular basis. That's how you get the customers. Fleet checks and yard checks will keep regular business flowing through your shop or through your mobile service. And the way that you get these fleets is you need to address their issues. So with fuel, obviously there's nothing you can do to save them on fuel on their budget end, because you are not a fuel company. You don't provide them a fuel credit card. But the way you can save them on fuel on the mechanical end is with these fleet checks and checking their air pressure regularly. Air pressure plays a big role in fuel economy. Tires play a big role in both fuel economy, and it's one of the largest budgets that a fleet has to deal with. So ensuring that you check tire condition during fleet checks and alert them whenever a tire is in need of replacement is a huge benefit to a customer. And they want to know that you can do this, that you can perform this action. Unscheduled repairs. Cut down on unscheduled repairs with finding problems during fleet checks to prevent breakdowns. That's how you solve that issue for them. Unscheduled breakdowns can be very costly on fleets, especially if it's at odd hours at night. Now, don't get me wrong, this is where you can make a lot of money whenever customers break down. But to the customer to get in the doors, you want to ensure them that that's what you're going to prevent. PM repairs. You want to offer PM tracking. You don't know how to do it? I'll make another video on how to do that. But if you control the maintenance, you control the PMs, you will keep customers flowing through your shop. So PM tracking. Maintain their fleet. That is where you'll continuously get customers. So how do you deliver it to the customer? How do you tell them? This is how you do it. Make sure that you have that pen and pad ready. Mr. Customer, my shop knows the biggest budget areas for fleet managers: fuel, tires, unscheduled repairs, and PM repairs. I have a solution for all four of those. Regular maintenance tracking. Mr. Customer, I'm offering regular yard checks for your fleet for free. I'll have a tech out here checking your units as if he was doing a DOT inspection. Our shop will track your PMs and DOT inspections. We will alert you when one is due and schedule that unit to have the services performed. If we find any DOT or safety issues, we will alert you with an estimate and await your approval to perform the repairs. If you require pictures as well, I'll have my tech send you pictures. And then you ask the customer, Mr. Customer, what is your rule with tire tread depths? What is the lowest you allow them to be? DOT is 330 seconds, but some fleets like to change them at 4 to 530 seconds to prevent any DOT violations. At this point, the customer is either going to be impressed or the customer is going to have the answer in his head because he has a rule and tell you 4 or 530 seconds. And then you ask him, what tread depth difference between two tires sitting by each other do you prefer? Most fleets don't allow a 330 seconds difference between the two tires due to the premature wear and fuel economy loss it causes. And they will give you an answer of probably 330 seconds because they don't know for sure in their head, or they're going to have an answer because they deal with this on a daily basis, depending on how experienced the fleet manager is that you're dealing with. Either way, both will be impressed by your questions. And that is how they know that you're going to be able to save them on their budgets, because you know exactly what needs to be done to save on their budgets. Being in this business, you have to remember, if you want to edge over your competition, you have to offer what your competition is not offering. So how do I find customers? So here it is. This is what I did when I first started out. I got on Google Maps, I looked up lumberyards, building material companies, distribution warehouses. I pinpointed an area, and I stayed in that area that entire day, and I would give my business card to every customer that I touched. And the customers would always be right next to each other, down the street. I would never go from one city to another city to go visit customers. I would always stay in one area so I can hit as many customers as I could, and I would hit 12 to 13 customers at a time, and that's good for a day, for a full day, 13, 14 customers. So you want to plan on an area that you'll visit and hit as many customers as you can. Once you find the customers, you need to speak to the right person. So you need to make sure that you go in speaking to the fleet or service manager. And if you don't, you need to ask for those people or whoever is in charge of the fleets. A lot of times, salesmen will go in and just talk to the front desk and say, okay, can you give this card to the right person? Of course, you can't rely on that person to give that card to the fleet manager. You need to be the one who's in front of that fleet manager talking to them about what you offer. You can't give your whole sales pitch to the front desk lady because she's not going to deliver it the way you did, or even remember half of what you said. So you need to make sure you speak to the right person. If that right person isn't there and the front desk is the only person there, then you ask them for the email of that person or their phone number so you can deliver them your rates and what your shop does. A lot of times they're willing to help you. If they don't, then come back another day. And don't be afraid of customers with shops. They have needs too. A lot of times they have either overflow work, or they only do a certain amount of work, like up to 4 hours, and then they send it off to vendors to do the jobs. So you could possibly gain a lot of work from customers who also have shops. Don't be afraid of your competitors either. A lot of times your competitors have overflow work. They can't handle all the customers that they have, and they will be willing to give you some customers for you to handle. So don't be afraid of your competitors either. So now once you're in and you speak to that fleet manager and you give them the sales pitch, get them all warm and fuzzy on what you can offer them. So at that point, you can either have a sheet of paper stating all of your things that you offer and your labor rates, and you can hand it to him or you can email it to him. Either way, you never want to leave the customer without setting another appointment to visit them the next time, or to be on their yard to give them a fleet check. If you do leave, for some odd reason they don't want to give you the time of day, then it's okay. Leave them your information and walk out the door. A lot of times, if you continue to check on this customer, something will happen and they're going to turn and ask for your help. I've seen it time and time again. So don't give up even on the difficult customers. Consistency is key. Once you leave a customer, after you talk to him, you want to go back and check up on this customer regularly. You want to make sure that you are in front of them, building that bond, building that relationship, that business relationship. It's not uncommon to take customers out for lunch, take them out for dinner, take to do extracurricular activities, golfing, build that bond with that customer. Almost become friends with them, basically, so that they will continue to use you. And that is why it's so important to actually hire a salesman to do this, because they're going to be the ones building that relationship, keeping that relationship for your shop. Because if they're not, another shop has their salesman going in there and trying to do the same thing. So you always want to make sure that you're consistent with your customer. Don't ever rely on your customer to call you back. They're always going to tell you, I will call you another day. I'll call you this day. Hey, let me call you tomorrow about this situation. They're going to forget. They have too many things going on. You need to make sure you write that down. Okay, he told me he's going to call me tomorrow. But you know what? You call him tomorrow instead of waiting on that customer to call you back. A lot of these customers forget. They need reminders. They're not going to sit there and remember every little thing that they've told a salesman. There's a rule of thumb. Customers only remember 30% of what you say in a 24-hour period. So when you leave that conversation with that customer, he can really only remember 30% of it. So that's why you want to be consistent with that customer. Now, I'm not saying to bother him and call him every single day. But to be consistent, if he says he's going to call you tomorrow, you call him tomorrow. You get on his yard and you tell the customer, I'll be on your yard once a week to make sure everything is good. Call me if you need any services out in the field. Something breaks down. Our goal is to reduce that, but we will be there to help if anything breaks down. And be there. If that customer calls you, hey, Mr. Customer, hey, Mr. So-and-so shop, I need you out here. Okay, to give the customer good ETAs. Yes, sir. I'll have my guy out there in 90 minutes. Or I'll have him out there in 30 minutes, 45 minutes, depending on where he is. Or you can even tell the customer, okay, Mr. Customer, unfortunately my guy is out, booked up for the rest of the day. Let me see if I can get someone else to help you. And at that point, you can get another shop to help you get the job done. They can charge you, and then you charge the customer. Especially if it's an emergency situation, customers are willing to pay to make sure it gets fixed. So the one thing I'm going to leave you guys with is have confidence in yourselves. Know that you are a solution. Know that you are in need in this business. Fleets, customers, owner-operators, they all need you in this business. This is a recession-proof business. These trucks need to be rolling as much as they can. You know that you are the solution. What you have to offer is superior than the other shops, and I just showed you how to do it. So go out there and make some money.